Google Classroom has a brand new look this year, along with several updates you should know about before jumping back into your classes. We'll look at the updated navigation, helpful classroom insights, and new Gemini tools designed to support teaching and learning. Let's take a look. When you open up Google Classroom, you'll notice that the home page looks very different. At the top of the page, you'll see buttons that allow you to switch between different views, such as admin, teaching, and enrolled. The views you see will depend on the role you have in the district. Most teachers will just see the teaching and enrolled, but if you have administrator access, you will see the admin view as well. Admin view, school and district leaders can see high-level information about Google Classroom use. That includes assignment completion, average grade, and active student participation. So we've got for educators and students how to visit a class. So if I would need to hop into your Google Classroom to help you in something, I can go into your Google Classroom. If I ever do that or an administrator does that, you will get an email letting you know that someone was in your Google Classroom. And then we just have some videos here. Now let's take a peek at the teacher part. So we've got recently due, and that will show you assignments from the last 7 days that need your review. You've got classroom insights, which is very cool. Lets you know new trends in student learning and performance. And then you have a feature spotlight, which you can discover Gemini in Classroom. So this is a really cool, there's a ton of AI tools built into Classroom. Looks very similar to like School AI or Magic School. So if you go over here to the hamburger menu and you hover over Gemini, you will see a ton. Ooh, that's new. Visual aids. That's nice. So you can build a choice board, generate a quiz. We've got different, start with a prompt in Gemini. So this will open up Gemini, convert a file to Google Slides. And then, let me scroll up here. And then you also have examples here. So whenever you see, I think we're pretty used to seeing something in blue and underlined, click on it. There's good stuff in there. All right, so let's go back here. And then you can also set up a gem for students to dive into. If you're new to gems, this would be a good resource to look at. And then Gemini Notebook. Notebook LM got a new name, so they changed the name. Google loves doing that. So Notebook LM is now called Gemini Notebook. So you could create an interactive study guide. Now, these are all options. You don't have to use this, but if you want to learn more about GEMS and Gemini Notebook, I love Gemini Notebook, you can click on these resources. And then you can check for understanding, how to create a video activity, how to make a practice set, and how to explore read along. And then at the very bottom, you will see your classes. So I'm going to open up my practice class here. When you open yours and you go to the classwork, at the very top, you will have the option to select standards for your class. I already did that and didn't realize that that little bubble would go away. So when you go to your classwork section, because we have the Google Plus version of Google Classroom, you will be able to select your standards, which is very cool. So I know that I can do it in the settings, so I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to click on the settings over here, and I've got my name, my description. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. Learning goals. This is new. Whenever you see learn more, click on that so that you can learn more, because they give you a little description. But if you click on this, it'll open up a page in the Google support page talking about using learning goals in Google Classroom. So I'm going to go back, and what you can do is you can click Manage Standard Sets. So it's going to ask you what country, If you want national standards or state standards, we use state standards. Pick your state, which is Ohio. And then you look and see what you're teaching. So I am going to grab math, and I'm going to open up these standards for mathematical practice. I want those. And then I'm going to click for math content. I'm going to pick 4th grade. And now when I go to create an assignment, I can tag the learning goal. Once again, I've got this little question mark. I could click on that and it's going to explain what that means if you want to dive deeper, but I can tag the learning goal that I'm working on and confirm. So through Google Classroom, I can track my students' mastery of the different standards. So very, very cool. And thank you to Dr. Bob for paying for the Google Plus version of Google Classroom, or everything Google. We appreciate that. So we talked about Gemini and Gemini Notebook. You want to make sure that you are reviewing the WLS AI roadmap so that you know what grades are allowed to use Gemini Notebook, what grades are allowed to use Gemini, and that can be found in the AI roadmap, which is in the WLS Hub. I'll be taking a deeper dive into these sections in future videos and in the Tech Tip Tuesday newsletter. So please be sure to subscribe to my station and hit the bell so that you get notifications when I make new videos. WLS staff, reach out if you'd like to meet one-on-one with me, or if you have any other questions about Google Classroom or any other technology that we have as a district. Have a great day.